starts spitting it back. It's not recognizing. So I was like, crap, I think I just lost all my logs. And about 10 minutes later, my computer starts just going nuts. And it's back on FT8. And there's my old contacts. And yeah, it was like February 7th was my last contact.
Wow.
That's how long it's been since I've been on.
That's super. Now, yesterday on 20 meters FT8, I was throwing my call out there, and I was getting them a few here and a few there. Yesterday, it was actually better today. And all of a sudden, I got an E call, an E6, I think. Where are you? And I looked at Grid Tracker, and I had to figure out it was Spain. And he contacted me, and I actually got the contact.
Good.
So that was really good yesterday, getting Spain.
Yeah, I added some new contacts from Northern Ireland. Mainland Europe was just booming, and North Africa, there were maybe about 6 or 7 in Northern Africa. One from Egypt, which was a new one for me. And of course, Canary Island, the islands just off the coast were booming. And then 2-3 minutes later, it was coming in on the other side. New Zealand and Australia were just exploded.
Wow.
So
When you run across something like that again, you yell at me and I'll quickly get on there.
Okay. Well, I didn't know about it, but I was going home and talking to Rich up in Yukon. He runs he goes, he's kind of just done away with phone, and he's primarily running FT8. So if you go on Grid Tracker and you click on our grid, if you see him, he's out of Yukon.
Okay. All right. You going to work or coming home?
Going home. I'm going to work from home. I'm about 2 miles out, and then I'll be there. I've got to be there at 7.
Don't work too hard tonight.
I told Jeff Rowe to give me a courtesy call for the Aries net tonight, because I don't know if I'll be able to. I've been able to take my radio in, but it's just been kind of spotty with all the LED lights.
Do you mind telling us where you work?
I am going to be one of the supervisors for Allied Security, and we have the contract with Amazon, both buildings, and I'll be in the building number 2, which is going to be large items. I mean, they're going to be selling washers, and dryers, auto tires, kayaks, fishing poles. It's nothing that we're going to really have to worry about them stealing, because
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, we're going to throw this in my pocket and walk out with it. But
I asked the wrong question.
Our biggest concern is, basically what's coming in on the person.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't get me started on their protocol of how they screen people.
Yes.
Because, they don't screen people. They don't screen people coming in. They screen people after they've been there for a full shift and they leave. So,
well, they make sure they're not stealing nothing, right?
Well, we kind of already know they're not going to be able to steal anything, but it's, holy cow, guys, do you not realize that somebody's been on the floor and they've had a gun in their pocket for 8 hours?
I'm okay with that if they didn't shoot anybody, but yeah, you might want to scan them coming in.
That's the problem. We're not going to have the employee count at this one, because it's all pretty much robotic. And there's 167 racks, and these racks are 50 feet tall, 300 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an area that has about a quarter of the footprint of the building has 3 levels in it. But the main building is, I mean, you guys can do the math. I've already done it as well, but It's 2,440 feet long, 900 feet deep. That's 2.1 million square feet of just a footprint.
Yeah, that probably would
We're gonna
want
have
a screen on the on the way in too.
Yeah, that's what we thought. But they're doing it the same as they do all their other ones. But we're going to have a workforce of about 800 to 900 people. They have close to 6,000 in number one.
Oh, wow.
So they've got a much larger, swing of people coming through number one than we will.
I mean, on one side of me says more people with guns in there would be good. Another side says more people with guns in there is bad.
Yeah. And the people that are the problems are you get 2,000 to 3,000 on a shift. I mean, it's probably 1,500 to 2,000 a shift at number one in Oklahoma City. How many gangs do we have? You're going to have.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh,
you're going to have conflict on the floor, and it could be just something real simple to, no, you're on a list. I'm taking you out now because I want my tattoo. So we're hoping that because of the smaller employee list in number two, we don't have near that much of a problem.
Oh, I sure hope not. Yeah, oh geez, when did we live there? That was 25 years ago. But yeah, at the time, the gang violence, and I didn't even realize it. I kind of realized it, but the gang violence was between 40 and 240, and between 44 and 35. That was pretty much.
Oh yeah.
That was the gang territory, and everything. Go ahead.
You're going to have probably 8 to 12 different gangs on a constant basis.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so,
I just remember the news was everything was something in Rockwell.
Yeah. And then you get up into the north part, just south of Edmond, is real bad.
Yeah. That too. But it's just funny that I actually saw a show that actually delineated that square that I just described, and I was thinking, yeah, no kidding, that's actually pretty much accurate. And that's where when I used to live there, but I lived in Norman at that time.
Well, guys, I'm going to sign off. If I get a little bit of a break and it's still within the time parameters, I'll get back on, but I'm here. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I love the view you got there. It looks like you're driving a little NASCAR going there. So
yeah, my Ram mount's not complete.
Well, it's just you
a little bit of vibrations.
If you had a helmet on, we might have think you'd be driving a little NASCAR, a little bit of Indy there.
In an F-250 pickup, yeah. Okay.
Well, okay, a little truck racing. I drive a 150.
Monster truck. All right, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Later, dude.
Not much happening tonight.
Oh, hello, Ken. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Good evening, sir.
How you doing?
Oh, I am doing fantastic.
Good.
I really am. I've been telling people I've been doing good all day, pushing fantastic, but I think we're getting really close to fantastic.
Good. You know,
Yeah,
we've had some pretty decent weather in Oklahoma this year. It's not been hot.
Mm-hmm. We've had more rain here than Indy than I've expected, but not horrible.
We've not had 100 degrees yet.
Oh wow. And it's freaking mid-July. Holy crap. Sorry, but yeah.
That's a good thing, Don.
Yes, that's a good thing for okay, dude. That's awesome. I think the best. I don't know that we've been over 85 here in Indy, although that's still pretty toasty.
I think we're going to get close to 100, but I don't think we're going to hit 100 till August.
Okay. Well, I had a little adventure this weekend. I'll try to make it short, but we went up to Lake George, which is if you look at the northeast corner of Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, it's right there. It's about as far northeast as you can go. And Lake George is actually part Michigan and part in Ohio. But my cousin's husband, of course, he's my cousin too now, but my cousin's husband's family has a cabin up there. So we went and hung out there with them. And believe it or not, me, Mr. No Kids, I spent two hours in the lake with a 6-year-old.
How'd you do that?
With pleasure.
Good.
She was very demanding. Move back. She wanted to swim between me and Sarah and my wife, and she wanted to swim between me and Sarah or jump off the dock or whatever. And it's the lake is it's sand and gravel bottom, so it's like no problem to walk in. It's not like Thunderbird. It's reasonably clear, and it's in fact it's very, compared to Dirty Bird, it's very clear.
Yeah.
I mean, from 3 feet, I could see my foot. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I was never up to even more than this on water, even out to where the swim docks were. I was expecting, they'd be in 10 foot of water, but yeah. Oh, we had a ball. We had a ball, and she wore me out.
Was it crowded?
Not at all.
Good.
Not. We were the only people swimming, and there were probably several dozen boats on the lake, but they weren't in the part we were in.
We used to go camping a lot to the lake, but we never went on 4th of July weekend, Memorial Day weekend, all of that crap. You might as well stay home, but it's going to be covered up with people. So we would wait and go. Of course, when you're retired, it's a little bit easier to pick your time, and it was nice to be able to go through the week. Bill, how you doing?
Okay.
You been doing any ham radio stuff?
Oh, a little bit of FT8 still.
Good.
Got Uruguay on 10 meters today.
Oh, good. 10 meters is starting to open up a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. Maybe in the wintertime, it will pick up a little bit.
I think so.
I always like to work Uruguay because you just don't get Uruguay just every day. Paraguay and Uruguay are kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
What on 10 meters? What kind of antenna you have on 10 meters, Bill?
It's a Cushcraft MA5B. It's a little mini beam.
3-element?
Well, yeah, basically it's 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20.
Yeah. Sounds like a pretty good deal.
I've got an inverted L I use on 40 and 80.
Yeah,
However, it'll tune all the others as well,
yeah.
but the beam's a little more.
Yeah, for the higher bands,
Yeah,
Tri-bander is the way to go.
Yeah.
And on 17, I have a homebrew rotatable dipole. And you'd be surprised how well a rotatable dipole works.
yeah,
When you get it broadside to the station, you actually have about a 6 dB gain from off the ends of the dipole. So
on this little beam, 12 and 17 are basically just rotatable dipoles,
yeah,
just a single element.
and it makes a difference, doesn't it, to be able to get broadside to your station?
Yeah, it'll do pretty good.
Well, I've been working on a pair of 432 megahertz antennas for moon bounce. I pretty much got them finished, but I've been working on mass mount preamp relays to switch from transmit to receive and switch in and out the preamp up on the tower. You can't, you have to be sure and switch your preamp out before you put power up there, or you'll burn up your preamp. So I switched the input and output to a 50 ohm load up there with coax relays, and pretty much got that box done. I've been working on sequencer today, building cables. Seems like I built cables most of my life, seems like.
Yeah. Well, this little beam is not very high. It's only like about 25 feet up. But when I went back up with the tower, I didn't want to make it too obvious in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They left me alone.
But 25 feet is probably good enough for those frequencies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you'd need to be.
It would work better if it was a little higher.
Yeah. I have an old Mosley 5-element antenna up there that's about, it must be about 42 feet or something like that. It's a 10, 15, 20 meter antenna.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Pretty big antenna.
Well, good evening, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, good evening. How are y'all?
Just fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Well, tell us what you've been up to. You've been doing any ham radio stuff?
A little bit. I just got back. I spent a week in Galveston.
I'm sorry.
Well, we weren't
Well,
actually.
I don't know. It's probably just as humid there here as it was there. So.
Well, I'll tell you, as long as I was in the shade, you know, there was quite a breeze and it was relatively comfortable as long as you're in the shade. So
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad. But, you know, I programmed in probably close to a dozen VHF and UHF channels in my radio that I took with me. I don't think those people down there talk on the air.
Yeah. Well, 2 meters here is not near as active as it used to be.
Yeah.
Probably would have got a lot more traffic on the marine channels.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. So, but I played a little bit on DMR while I was down there, but that was about it while I was down there. But I've got a question.
We got an answer. It might not be right, but
Oh, we got lots of answers.
So I borrowed a little mag mount dual band antenna, and I'm looking at it. It's on the dining room table right now. It's I'm going to guess it's probably a foot long. It's not very tall at all. And on the way down there, they had the MacNet, the 9 a.m. MacNet. And I wasn't quite to Wynnewood, but I was pretty close. And I only had 5 watts. And I was hitting the repeater down, from down there. But my normal antenna that I have on my Ford truck, which it's aluminum body, I've got a little M&O mount that is on the driver's side hood. And if I'm, 10 miles north of Norman on I-35, I'm barely hitting the repeater with that. Is that because that mag mount was in the center of the vehicle and was getting better, dispersing the signal better, maybe? I was just kind of,
if you was, with your antenna mounted up there, it's a little bit directional. So that's probably part of the problem. Yeah.
well, I've thought about moving the antenna that I have on my work truck. I've got a camper shell with a rack, an aluminum rack on top of it that we carry ladders and stuff on. I'm thinking about maybe moving that onto that aluminum rack, just mounting it there, in the center of just right behind the cab of the truck center.
That would be a good place. I have a Chevrolet truck that's got a headache rack on the bed, and I mount a quarter wave 2-meter vertical on that. And quarter wave is not very big, but I don't knock it off and tear it up.
Right.
It seems to, it works good enough. So
Okay.
but it's in the clear up pretty high, right behind the cab.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I was kind of curious about that. So,
Good evening, Phil.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I have a new camera here. Just wondered if I was even coming through.
Well, it didn't make you look any better.
No, it didn't improve my looks any.
Oh, mine either.
If anything, it made me look a little worse.
It's pretty,
See, I can get my side profile now.
pretty wide angle, which is not a bad deal. Unless
It's
you're
right angle. Yeah.
wide angle, I said. Unless you're just further away from it.
No, I'm just right here.
Bill, it's a little bit blurry.
know.
You still have the plastic over the lens?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe it's just
Well,
not quite.
you might try polishing it a little bit with a clean cloth.
It might not be just focused perfect. I know.
And they might just be giving you crap because it doesn't look that bad.
No, it don't look too bad.
But yes, I have actually had people say, hey, you need to clean your lens. And I cleaned it and it actually did look better, or worse in my case.
Well, Bill said 10 meters is open a little bit. I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow. Mike, you been on 10 meters and tried that?
no, I don't have any HF gear yet.
Well, you need to get some.
Yeah.
That's where all the fun is.
Well, when I was hamming before, 10 meters was open, and I spent quite a bit of time on 10 meters back then.
How long ago?
Oh, it was probably 15 years ago now,
Yeah.
something like that, 12, 15 years. But back then I had a little Radio Shack HTX, and I can't remember the model. It was a little Radio Shack HTX. And then
Mhm.
from there I went to an ICOM 718 is what I had back then.
Well, when 10 meters is open, you don't need a lot of power.
Yeah.
10 meters is fun. It's like 6 meters. When 6 meters is open, it's a blast.
Yeah, I think I need I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I want to get some kind of an HF rig and throw it in the house and get an antenna up here pretty soon.
What are you saving that money for?
Well, you know, I don't live alone, so somebody else gets to spend some of it. So,
Yeah. Been there, done that.
yeah.
You know, a basic HF radio will get you a long way. I mean, most of them are 100 waters unless you buy one of the 20 or 50 waters. But even then, that'll do it.
Yeah. What kind of radios are you thinking?
Uh, ICOM 718. You said do you still have that? Oh,
No, I sold everything off. I wish I still had it.
no, okay. Yeah, ICOM 718 or something similar
Yeah.
will get you on every freaking band. And 100 watts ish.
Yeah.
And you can always turn it down if you're doing FT8 or something.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of basic radio. I actually, I'm not even sure if they're still making the 718. So maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm sure they make something very similar if they don't.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of Kenwood transceivers and they're pretty good. There's a TS 590 is a nice one.
Okay.
They're all around $1,000, $1,200 for a new one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Kind of depends on what you want to do. Are you looking, for a base station, or are you looking for something small, portable, where you can, jump? Oh, okay. I want to go and grab this, and I want to go take it to a park or something.
No, more than likely, I'll just use it from the house more than anything.
Radios now are pretty small anyway. You can make
Well,
them
yeah,
big.
I know. Even a base station rig, they don't weigh squat.
No, you can still
Right.
take them out in the field.
Yeah.
I use my transceivers, Elecraft K3. I had two of them. I recently sold one of them to a ham here in Shawnee.
I've got a couple I need to sell.
What kind?
Got a 10-tech Eagle and a Yaesu 857, the little one.
Syntec Eagle. I haven't heard anyone talking about them recently, but that was a pretty nice radio.
They are.
There you go, Mike. There's a good transceiver, that 10-tech Eagle.
I use a 10-tech for digital Jupiter, and then a Yaesu 950 for phone.
Okay. Yeah, back when I was doing it before, I don't even know if FT8 was around, but I'm kind of curious about playing with that a little bit as well.
FT8's pretty new, so I'm sure it wasn't around then.
Yeah.
FT8 is one of the newer digital modes. There's a Joe Taylor is the one that writes these programs. If you'll Google WSJTX, it'll take you to Joe Taylor's home site, which is in Princeton, New Jersey. And you can download WSJTX from there, and it's got a lot of the newer modes in it.
Okay.
Including FT8. And it's been around. The Joe Taylor's software has been around quite a while. He started out, he did radio astronomy, and he wrote this software and gave it to the ham community, not trying to make any money off of it at all.
Wow.
He's a really nice guy.
FT8 has its distractors. They say it's like watching paint dry, and it's not really ham radio.
What's that?
FT8.
Well,
it sure is popular right now.
you can say what you want to about new modes, but I remember whenever they bitched about single sideband being a new mode, they
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was terrible. Also, I did EME back in the day, and whenever we started using JT65 digital mode, all the guys that did CW said we were cheating.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
well,
the thing I was thinking about FT8, it'll let you, for me, at what little bit I know about it, it lets you know what your antenna is doing.
yeah, well, you can use a whisper beacon, which will do that for you. Have you ever tried Whisper?
No, no,
It's
I
one
really
of
don't.
the, it's a beacon
That's why I
program.
kind of just eased into that conversation. I haven't really
It's a,
given much thought. I do
hey,
need
Bill, you
to
want to mute that?
get rid of it. Um,
Hey, Bill, you want to mute that?
Probably
He's busy selling the radio.
$500 range.
Hey, Bill, you want to mute that?
It's worth twice what he's asking.
Yes. I haven't used it in a while. I had it in my other truck. And when I switched,
We don't want to buy it, Bill.
back in yet.
Only drove it to Sunday school on Sunday.
Yeah, there's
Contact on Sunday afternoon.
I forget what it was.
What was we at, Mike?
We were talking,
The radio into
we were
thinking.
talking about Whisper.
It has one of
Yeah,
those
with
automatic tuners
digital mode,
attached to it.
Mike,
So that way you can use
it doesn't matter
the tune
if
function on
people
the
say
radio.
that a FD8 is not a
Tune,
ham radio. It really is ham radio,
Program
and
type
you have to
antenna.
go where the people are
I've
at.
got
You know what I mean? You can't
Yeah.
say digital mode is not
They
good.
can't
I'd
do it
rather
again
talk. How can talking be any better? And if you want to
Well,
make
might as
contacts,
well.
you have to go where all the hams are operating
I
at.
have to
Right.
get it all together.
So I have no problem with doing the new modes.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I was when
Good
I
deal.
first started hearing about DMR.
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah, that's not real ham radio. And I thought, well, you know what? They're communicating.
yeah.
You know,
And, it's,
well, I
granted, if
hooked
the
up
internet
to
goes down, you're out of luck, but
and,
it's still
to do
interesting
2
to me.
meters on. For a
Just
little
send
while.
Bill an email
Then I went back to my dual
and we're
band.
not buying it.
But, yeah, it'll do that too.
But we're not buying this sales pitch, Bill.
Okay.
Bill, you need to get Harold to sell that for you.
We-
He got a better sales pitch.
All right. Well, good deal. I'll get it together.
Yeah, I see Larry's still back at his workbench there.
You haven't done anything else exceptional, outstanding, exciting?
Gonna mute that, Bill? Hey, thank you, Bill. Now we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah. Now we're out of conversation.
Yeah,
So Whisper, how do you set that up?
okay. Whisper is a digital beacon mode. It's in this SJTX suite of programs.
Okay.
It's a beacon mode, and you don't need much power. You can get on one of the HF bands and run 20 watts, 10 watts, whatever. And the people that receive it on the other end, it automatically uploads to the internet, and you can see your signal reports almost immediately
Wow.
all over the world. And there's a WSJT net is where you go look at it.
Uh-huh.
And let me.
So if I understand correctly, your beacon is shooting a signal out, hitting that beacon, and that's recording the signal. Is that correct?
No, you're transmitting you're transmitting, and all the stations that receive it are their, whenever their receiver decodes it, it uploads it to the internet.
Okay.
And there we go. So, and see. Okay, it's called whispernet.org. WSPRNET.org. And you can go there right now and have a look at it, and you can look at different bands. You can even set it up where it will show a list of the stations that's just copying you, or a list of stations that you are copying. And
You
one
said
of
it
the
was
good,
you said
one
it
of
was
the
WSPR.
It's WSPRnet.org. WSPRnet.org.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it pulled up now.
And well, let me open that back up. Okay, when it comes up, if you click on, you can click on up in the top right. There's a button called Activity.
Uh-huh.
You can click on that button, and then you can look at the different bands.
Okay.
And that's one thing you can do. And then you can click on the map or the database. Click on database, you can enter what band you want to monitor, what mode, and you can put your call sign in there, and all the people that copy you will show up.
Okay.
Or you being the reporter, you can put your call sign in and see what stations you're copying.
Oh, that's cool.
And the map has a problem. It's got for development purpose only written across it. And that's because Google has recently changed, not recently, it's been a year or so, changed their operation, and that screwed this up.
Okay.
But you can look on the map, and you can, I don't know if you see it full screen or not, but you can scroll down a little bit there and below the map, you can input the band and the call sign.
Okay.
And put your latitude and longitude, and that way you'll be centered on the screen.
I want to play with that just a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. And like you said, you don't need much power, and you can test your antennas. If you had something like a rotatable dipole or something, you put it broadside to the station and get about 10 reports, and then put it off the end to him, and that way you could see how much difference your rotatable dipole made from being off the side or off the end, things like that. Yeah, of course, if it's a vertical antenna, it's pretty much omnidirectional. But
yeah, that's neat. I like that.
Hey guys, I am listening, and I appreciate the info.
Yeah, I'm playing with it right now.
and whenever I was working 630 meters for about 7 or 8 years, and I was an experimental license before it became licensed for hams to operate, and we relied on that whisper beacon for our propagation checks, and that helped us figure out what part of the world we could get to on that low band. 630 meters is below the broadcast band. What kind of HF rig do you have, Don? You're muted.
Say again, sir.
What kind of HF rig do you have?
Oh, I got nothing at the moment. Nothing up at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got a 718 that doesn't seem to want to work. ICOM 718 doesn't seem to want to work. It comes up alive, but it won't receive squat. And yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, I have been in it, and I probably screwed something up. I got Tentec Jupiter. Jupiter, whichever one's the desktop. Yeah, the Jupiter, I think. Yep. And haven't had it out in a while, in a few months. So I need to get something out. So please bother me, nag me, yell at me, whatever it needs to be to get some. I need to put a hole in the house. It's a brick house, and that's the problem. I'm reluctant to pull a hole in the house. I need to put a hole in the house and put some cable outside.
We talked about that last week.
Yes, we did. And I'm going to reiterate it, and you need to keep beating me up.
So, Mike, you live in a neighborhood where you can't put up much of an antenna?
No, not much. Before I had an inverted V, it was probably about 40 feet up, but the yard's pretty narrow, so I ran it down to the fence and kind of around the fence back then. And that was for the lower bands. For 10 meters, I had a vertical, and it was set on top of that. And I was all over with that 10 meter, and I was probably running 100 watts on max on everything. And I was hitting. I was on. I think it was 20 and 40 meters most of the time, and pretty much all over southern United States. Yeah, pretty much wherever. Southeast. So.
If you're, if you're interested in working all states, now's the time to do it with this FT8 because everybody's on there. It's hot and heavy, and you could work a lot of states quick. I know. I don't know. It's been maybe a week or so ago. 6 meters was really hopping, and you could have probably worked 40 states in 2 or 3 days on 6 meters.
You know, I've never done 6 meters. I've never done it.
It's really a lot of fun whenever it's open. And like everything else now, they're doing FT8 on 6 meters. And I worked a couple of stations in the Caribbean. I've got all 50 states on 6 meters back before FT8 was ever invented. So
I
don't really get on there and try to work a lot of contacts, but I do try to work DX if on 6 meters.
What kind of antenna do you use for 6 meters?
I've got a M squared 5-element Yagi on a 18-foot boom. It's up about 55 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in an HOA, but the good thing is the peak of the house is pretty tall. Like I'm running a vertical right now for UHF and VHF. I've got it about 35 feet up. It's black, and I've got a large tree in the backyard, so you really can't see it.
Not very noticeable.
No. So
But do you live in Norman or Oklahoma City or?
I live in South Oklahoma City, but it's a lot of people think it's more, but it's Oklahoma City. I live on the northeast corner of 4th and Santa Fe, northwest corner, northwest side, which is the Oklahoma City side.
Yeah,
But yeah, with that big tree, that tree's way up there.
yeah.
I could
Sorry, I was
probably,
trying to put that together.
but yeah, I could probably bump that up another 10 or 20 feet and really it
Yeah.
wouldn't show that much.
Well, it sounds like you can get an inverted V up.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably can.
A vertical works pretty good for the lower bands and like 40 meters.
Okay.
40-meter vertical is only 33 foot tall, ground mounted.
Okay.
40 meter.
And just so Don knows, I do have a hole inside of my brick house.
Yeah, I know. I need to make one. Thank you very much. I need to
Not,
go up.
it's not that big deal.
Honestly, we've probably spent more time talking about it than it would take me to make the freaking hole.
We talked about it last week a lot.
Yeah, it's
I just need to go out and be brave enough to do it. I need to measure it out to make sure it's where I want it to be on more or less on the inside. Yes, I just need to go freaking do it. You
Hey.
guys need to keep busting my,
Hey,
what?
Don,
your chops.
I've got two holes in my brick walls in this ham shack, one on the south side and one on the west side with 4-inch PVC going in them.
Oh, I'd be happy if they were the size of a. I'd be happy if they were the size of a single outlet box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For now.
Mine's probably max about that big.
Well, I was kind of thinking taking half a brick out. Actually, probably taking a brick out.
Take a half
Put,
brick
put,
out.
put half a brick back in, and then an outlet box.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hole's gonna be.
I
easy
just
to
need to
fix.
do it. You guys need to keep kicking my butt till I do it. Okay? Yeah, please don't
Well,
feel like you're going to offend me. Just keep
I'm-
kicking my butt till I do it.
I've got a pretty good stack of bricks that was left over whenever we built this house. So if I ever have to fix this hole, I've got a whole brick I can just put back.
Oh,
there.
well, and my thought was if I can put a single outlet box in it,
Yeah,
I can just put a dead cover on it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That
I
probably
mean,
would look
or
better.
even an outlet cover and just no outlets, whatever. Yeah.
And they'll be plugging in their electric weed eater to it and say, hey, this thing don't work.
Well, there won't be any outlets in it. It'll just be a cover. But
That probably looks better than the glob of silicone I've got around the hole of my brick. So
well, mine's not going to be pretty either.
As long as it's not in the front of the house, nobody's gonna see it anyway.
No, it's off the side. It's going to be far enough back that even from the front, you're not going to. Sorry, guys.
if you need a masonry bit, I'll send you a masonry bit just to get you started.
Dude, I'm good. I just need to do it. I've got not only masonry bits, I've got hammer drill bits. I've got
There you
hammer
go.
drill. I just need to freaking do it.
Hey, you could probably do it while we're talking to you tonight. You can just jump out there real quick and
Oh,
poke you a
no,
hole.
I've had too many beers. But, over the weekend, this could happen.
We'll check back with you next week.
Okay, and if I don't, I appreciate you're allowed to beat me up. In fact, I hope you will.
We'll bust your chops.
Yeah,
He
I should have had this. Yeah. I went 5 years in our last house without an outside antenna. I don't intend to do that again.
Yeah, inside antennas don't work very good.
Well, I could hit that was the thing is I could hit my local repeater pretty well. And
Yeah.
that was
That's
kind
about
of
it.
my downfall.
Yeah.
So yes, gentlemen, please pester me to get this done. Even if I got to take a whole brick out and put a half a brick back or whatever.
You got quite a
I'm-
bit of land there, don't you?
Oh, I got room.
Mhm.
Well, I have a cheese wedge.
Yeah, I've seen your map last week.
Okay, yeah, I got a cheese wedge.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
But yeah, we could probably put up we could definitely put up a Wyndham for 40 or maybe 80, or a off center fed dipole or even honestly, I mean, the problem is I've got too many power lines.
Yeah.
I've got power lines across. I've got 2 power lines across the one side and 1 partial power line across the other side. So, but
Now I got a question for you.
Mr. Phil, good evening, sir. Go ahead.
How many hams do you know that only have one coax out to one antenna?
Oh my goodness.
You drill a 1/2 inch hole through that brick, it's going to last you about 30 minutes.
I didn't say I was going to drill a 1/2 inch hole. I said half a brick.
You need to take out a whole brick.
Well, I'm going to take the whole brick out. I'm probably going to put a single outlet box in.
An outlet box out there, or a JIC box of some kind.
Yeah.
Knowing you, I'm surprised you haven't got an RTR tower out in your backyard.
Well, nobody was scrapping one. Holy crap, dude. I mean,
If they scrapped it, I'd pick one up.
Next thing you're going to be accusing me of stealing test equipment.
No, you probably got better test equipment at home than they had you have at work.
No, I actually don't at the moment. Well, I do have a bird.
Okay.
I don't know where the bird. Well, I've got one of the birds with I've got the bird meter and I got one of the remotes. I don't have a whole bird meter in itself, but I've got a bird with a remote body.
Oh, you got.
And I do have I have a few elements somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't ask me where they are.
Yeah, if you use it at all, you have a bag full of elements.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of I took a lot of elements to the dumpster.
Oh no. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, to my dumpster.
I sold all of my bird stuff.
Ones that were out of spec and they couldn't get them in spec, I said I would dispose of them for them.
Ah.
Sold all of my bird stuff at the ham fest there at South Oklahoma City Community College a couple of years ago. I sold all of my bird. I had a brand new bird meter and a bunch of elements. I just don't ever use them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I actually picked up an HF element. Cost me $50.
Yeah, that's really not bad, Phil.
I can do HF on it.
50 ain't bad for any element. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the ones I picked up were going to be discarded, so I said I'd take them out to the trash for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care if they're exactly exact, but but forward and reverse they're going to read pretty damn close. Yeah, and that's really what I care for. That's really what I care about.
The cow contractor's trying to check those to 5%. Mm-hmm. And if they're 6% for us, who cares?
I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
I honestly don't care if they're 20%. Because a bird, when you flip it around, it's going to read the same anyway.
Yeah. You just turn it around in the.
I mean, it might not be exactly linear, But yeah, it's going to give you a relative
A relative reading, power and
good good enough for what we need.
Yeah. I don't have to have precision instruments for what I do.
I actually had to put a new meter in mine. My Bird Model 43 was, well, let's see, I got it in 1970. So that's 50 years old. And I got on eBay and they had brand new meters. So I just bought a new meter and put it in it. And that pretty much rejuvenated it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing about the RF sensor to go out of cow. Other than the plugs themselves.
Yeah. They basically just, other than they deviate over time.
Right. Well, they've got diodes in them and they've got a little capacitor in them, depending on the element. I found out that those all have a little pickup coil, and Bird actually tunes those by hand. That's why they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need super accuracy, so I use a Hellicraft watt meter for everything. Close enough for me. Watt meter and SWR meter.
I got enough watt meters on these line tuners to totally confuse me.
Don't look like a very big crowd. It's not.
It doesn't.
At the
Yeah, it
meeting.
does look a little slower than usual. Or are they all got their heads down working on something?
Were they building Ed Fong antennas tonight? Is that right?
Oh, yes, they might be.
Building what?
I thought, I may be wrong. I thought they were going to try to build some of those roll up
Oh,
Ed Fong antennas.
Yes, I think you're right, Mike.
had a twin lead,
Yeah.
300 on twin lead.
And by the way, guys, how do I sound?
Oh, well, let's not go into that.
Is it no, seriously, if it's echoey, if it's too bassy,
No.
too trebly, let me
Your
know.
audio sounds good here.
Okay. I mean, yeah, my voice is another question. And Ken, you don't know me well enough to say, do I sound like me? But now Mr. Klein could say that. He's known me for probably longer than he'll admit to.
Well, I'm surprised that my video and audio is very good. I'm using a pretty cheap USB microphone here, or camera with the mic built in it. So
yeah, you probably could use a little less treble and more bass, but you're absolutely fine. And I'm probably way too bassy.
sounds good to me.
Mike kind of looks like Ken, were you on any of those sessions where I was just coming off the broke leg and I was in the recliner?
I think when I first got on here, I haven't been on very long.
Oh, okay.
I think he was in the cast.
Because I was thinking Mike is not quite as comfortable as I was in the Mike. I let me make it quick. I broke my leg in February, mid-Feb, and like the next couple weeks after I got out of the hospital, I was on opioids. I checked into the net. I was in the recliner just like you are, and I had my headphones on, so I was listening, and they didn't actually they I didn't. They thought they were waking me up. I was actually awake. I was at least listening, but the eyes were closed. I had the headphones on, but the eyes were closed, and they're like, "Hey, Don, are you still there?" And my eyes would pop open. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still here, dude." Oh yes, it was quite amusing.
It's been a couple of months, but we were on our Zoom meeting like this, and I got really sleepy, so I ended up just taking the video off. I thought I'll just listen, and I woke up like an hour and a half later.
That happens.
But
Well,
at least I turned the video
you
off, so you didn't
remembered
see
it.
me.
At least you remembered to turn the video off.
Well, yeah. No, I was fine with it. Yeah, I left the video on, and I told him I was going to close my eyes and leave the headphones on, and
Mike, are you on Discord, that chat program that for the club?
Yeah, I mean, I've got it. I haven't been on it. Gosh,
There,
for
a
a long
lot of
time.
times, people put up information on there, and you can always ask questions there, and somebody will answer it. It's a pretty good deal. We should be using it.
See, I think I've got it bookmarked. Let me see here.
Okay, I'm back on there now. I've been working satellite, or I've been using satellites to test my moon bounce antennas that I'm working on. And I've been copying satellites like crazy. I've been, I copied some pretty good DX stations. Copied Honduras and Colombia, South America, and TI2 in Costa Rica, and a few Canadian stations through the satellite. And if you bring up, you'll see an image of the program that I use to track them. It's called Orbitron. It's a freebie program. I didn't put any up today that I copied, but didn't want to bore people too much. But I have the image up there of the ones I copied yesterday in 2 different passes. But Peter gets on there every once in a while and uploads some stuff, some info, some links for some info. I get on there every once in a while and upload something.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been on there. I'm on there now, but yeah, it's been forever since I was on there.
Okay, you see the image that I uploaded of the satellite tracking program?
I'm trying to find it.
So right at the bottom. scroll down to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, yep, I see it. I see it now. Yeah.
So a little bit of info there about it. And there's Paul. How you doing tonight, Paul?
Not too bad. I just decided to come in from outside after getting eaten up too much by the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Not doing too much radio stuff here. We had big household repair projects going on, so I'm doing some research on that.
Yeah. That kind of
Fixing a
slows you
retaining,
down.
fixing a retaining wall, doing a pond, fencing, fun things.
Yeah, those are usually in my house, those are usually the call a pro jobs.
I'm not doing them. We have called the pros. They started today.
Amen, brother.
And
Well done.
Yeah.
So you're just checking up on the pros.
Yeah, well, no, they're good. The guys that are doing the dirt work and they had to fill in an old retaining wall that was collapsing. And we decided, well, instead of just building another wall and having it drop off, let's take the dirt. Since we're on 10 acres, we got plenty of dirt, and use that and fill in behind that. And in the process, can expand the pond that was there. It's a tiny little pond, I guess, for the cattle that the previous owners had. So, well, they needed the dirt from somewhere. So my wife wanted the bigger pond. So there you go. Just matter of relocating the dirt and fixing the eroding wall. But it's having to look up things, get information for those guys. But they're really good. They're unusual contractors. They call you back. They show up on time. So I don't know. That's odd.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Go
Sure.
ahead, Ken.
Showing up on time is very unusual.
Yeah. These guys had it tough because of the wet spring and summer we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing bulldozer work and all this. It's delayed a lot of their projects. So they're finally got to we finally came up on the schedule, and they've been out here and they're working.
So you live in New Walla?
Actually in Oklahoma city limits. We got the New Walla zip code, but we're off of Choctaw Road, just north of 149th. So saying last week, kind of near the right, just down the street from the Twin Lakes Doppler radar site.
Oh, yeah. I've never been there.
Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah, our driveway's a quarter of a mile away from it, and our neighbor.
Oh, no kidding.
Former neighbor used to mow the lawn up there for them.
Unfortunately, that means you've actually got poor radar coverage.
What's that?
That means you have poor radar coverage because you were under the cone of silence.
Yeah, but on one hand, that's nice because when the storms are coming this way,
yep,
that black spot, the cone of silence, I'd say, okay, they're going to go north of us. They're going to go south. They're going to.
Yeah, you know it.
So it's kind of a nice marker on the. But yeah, that's where we're at. But
no, that's very cool. I used to live out about halfway up Lake Thunderbird. So
okay, yeah. So we're there now. Once all this digging gets done, I won't have retaining walls in the way. I won't have lots of other things. And maybe I can think of, okay, where can I run coax out into? Got all this property, but it's just a pain getting coax from the house and a shack area to the antenna. But once I get rid of some of these obstacles, I've gotten rid of retaining wall and fences.
Yep.
May make it a little bit easier.
At least you know that you're not going to have to dig it up. Get all your digging done now.
Yeah. Well, I'll do the digging, but later for coax, but yeah, this will be nice. But it's something that needed to be done for safety reasons, where it was eroding around the house, couldn't mow safely, and I don't want our house foundation sinking or collapsing.
Yeah.
So they're getting that taken. Now we're just trying to get the fence people to, we want to put up some fencing, and a guy does some pond work. He came out once, and then we heard from him once. Now we're trying to hear back from him. So
Sounds like you got enough land to put up some antennas.
I had enough here. I could put up at one time full size, whatever I want, 160 meter antennas. I could put up a full size 160 meter loop right around me. But
Yeah.
the challenge is, again, getting from where I can operate in the house to get coax or feed line outside and to it. So it's a little challenge. And then there's concrete sidewalks or driveway around 3 of the 4 sides of the house. So, I can't just go out a window and then underground. I'll figure it out.
Well, we talked about this a couple of times.
Sounds like my problem.
You go through the wall and go underground underneath them sidewalks.
Yeah. Now, the one plus I have, we used to have satellite internet before OEC got out here with the fiber optic. And so on the back of the house, we have the little tripod mount where the dish went on the roof. And so there's a pole there and a nice sturdy mounting. If I want some kind of even a better VHF, UHF antenna on that, or a pole that can go up there and serve as somewhere to, where other wires can get out to the trees that are all around us. I've got a good starting point there, and I can just go right up from where the shack might be, just a few feet out underneath the eaves and right up to that. So I have that going for me. So, but I got to get the household stuff done first.
Yeah. Certain priorities there.
So, but that's about it. So I'm just, I was doing some researching on a couple items I had to get on Google Earth and measure the approximate square footage, what we needed for erosion control mat for the ground that's going to be graded. Problem is our house sits on a hill. So there was the property slopes down. So they put all this fill to build the house and built a retaining wall of the old timbers, not really railroad ties, but that kind of thing. And after 30 some years, actually probably about 40,
Oh, sorry.
that went down, that collapsed. So we're just going to fill that in and grade it. But that's the first thing. Then I can play radio once this is done.
My daughter lives south of 149, south on Westminster.
Okay.
And south of 149, and then west up into a housing addition there. And I don't remember the name of the housing addition. So she's not too far from you.
Yeah, that's pretty close nearby.
And I live close to Shawnee Lake, Shawnee Twin Lakes. So I'm not too far from you either.
Okay, I had to stop and think about that, where it's.
I'm pretty much straight east of you.
Okay. So yeah, I'm lucky. I've got a lot of room here, so I really can't complain about that. I have plenty of room for antennas. It's just getting to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I don't want to have 300-foot run of coax and
Well,
just
I
to
have
get
I have 200 feet going to a 60-foot vertical in my backyard.
Okay.
And if you get them antennas away from your house, it'll be a whole lot quieter.
What type of coax do you use for that run to keep the loss down?
I'm using RG213.
Okay. I'll probably have to ask that question again later on. I won't remember that
That's okay.
answer.
213 or 214 is good.
Okay.
214 is basically 213 with an extra shield on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the ass to terminate.
Yeah, and it's more expensive. It's more
And it's
expensive.
way more expensive.
So
Now, if you're just doing a big antenna for receiving, trying to get something way away from the house, my 2 cents, and Ken, you're going to tell me wrong if I'm wrong, but
no, because I know what you're going to say.
use RG6. Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can use cable RG6. It's usually gel filled, variable, or you can kind of just lay it on the ground and let it kind of go into the ground, which is what I would do. But
I can't do that. I'd mow it. People talk about doing that, but it don't work.
well, put it even an inch in the ground and it won't get mowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Ken, the type of coax you were talking about, is that the direct bury kind?
No,
It's
I've got, well, the RG6 that he's talking about is 75 ohm
Right.
it works for receive type antennas. Like if
Right.
you want to
yeah.
build a beverage or something like that. But the coax that I'm using, going back to my 60-foot vertical, is RG213, and it's in a piece of 2-inch PVC with control cables to operate a remote
Okay.
tuner that's at the base of the 60-foot vertical.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would want to run a long run of RG6
Well, here's the problem.
with any amount of power, because you're going to lose a lot of power.
Here's the problem in Oklahoma. You got gophers that's going to chew that stuff in two unless you put
That
it
too.
inside the
But on the
PVC.
other hand, RG6 is cheap and easy to replace.
Yeah, but PVC is pretty cheap. You
Yes,
can
it
pay
is.
and
It
you
is
don't have to
indeed.
worry about it.
And I will not disagree with you on that, Ken. That's a way better. I mean, if you're going to dig the ditch,
That's the way I look at it.
put some PVC in
I
it.
dug 200 foot of ditch by hand. I don't want to have to do that again.
Well, and yeah, and
Gotta-
if you're lazy like me, you can go hire somebody with a ditch witch, and do it in half an hour.
If a gopher chews that in two, it's going to be hard to find where it's at. So, and you're going to.
We actually used to have in the military. We used to have what we used to call gopher cable, and I'll bet Ken knows exactly what this is.
It's too more expensive though.
It was coax, or really heliax, with an extra layer of insulation and copper around it.
213 is probably the best way to go, and PVC.
Yeah, I got a little off topic there.
If you could get a bunch of it free or cheap, there's other things that would work. But if you're going to have to go buy it,
Yeah. Yeah, I lost my question there. Well, anyway, yeah, that'll be down the road, and then I've got about a 30 to 40 foot metal, like 4-inch square metal tubing out in the field, where prior to having the satellite internet, we had the local wireless Wi-Fi type provider, and he put that thing up on there. And fortunately, our new neighbor, when we sold part of the property, he's got a tree and lawn service. He's got one of the bucket loader trucks. So if I need to get up there, so I do have a big metal pole out in the middle of the field.
well,
Again,
You need to talk nice to that guy.
I would definitely take advantage of that. You
Yeah.
say how big a square? It's 4 inches square.
yeah,
And,
yeah, it's in concrete, pretty beefy in there.
and how tall?
Original pole we had was like 20 feet, and this was like twice that. So I'm saying it's around. And there's 2 sections of it, so I'm going to say it's up to 40. I'd say 30 to 40, somewhere in there, but up to.
Does it have guy wires on it?
No, it's just
Self-
one big beefy, thick pole.
Self-supporting, huh?
Yeah, in a couple feet in the ground
Yeah.
at 1.5 foot diameter concrete base.
Hey, if nothing else, you could make a really nice inverted V with that thing.
Well, yeah, it's a nice support for me there.
Mhm.
So just have to ground that thing really well for, but yeah, that one's a couple 100 feet out the front. So I'd have to get the coax from the back of the house out through the front. So I just need to build a house around a ham shack is what I need.
Yeah. Well, my bedroom that I use for my ham shack is at the back of my house. So that helps.
Nah. Yeah, see where I might realistically end up doing mine will be towards the back of the house. And then it's a very short run to that area where I was talking about before with the eaves. And then that support for the old satellite internet antenna. So and it's a very short run. So that may be what I have to do. That may be my best option. But again, we'll see.
If you go to my webpage, you can see a picture of my 60-foot vertical that it's made out of 4-inch diameter irrigation tubing.
Now, which I'm at your page. Which antenna is this?
It's originally I built it for 80-meter vertical, but I use it on 630 meters now.
Okay, it's
For the
antenna
loading pole.
630-meter vertical. That one.
Yeah, yeah. It's 60-foot vertical. I use it on 630-meter ham band,
Okay.
which is 475 kilohertz below the broadcast band. K5DNL.com is my webpage.
Yeah, that's where I'm at here.
And
Now,
you can,
does that one have any guy wires on that one at all?
yes, it does.
Ah,
Are you looking at the antenna?
yeah.
See
See the base there.
Well, that guy looks a lot younger than you.
Oh, on the
The
homepage?
homepage.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, cool, man.
Nice.
That's awesome. Love the hair.
1960.
Awesome, man. That's 5 years before I was born.
See the 75A4 receiver and KWF
Yeah.
transmitters.
Yeah.
Look at them new phones.
Yeah. Those were the modern phones at the time.
Yeah. This is on Guam. And this is in a
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, this is in a secure station room that's inside of the 1958 AACS squadron.
So now that we've seen this picture, you have to kill us?
Yeah, well, wasn't supposed to take pictures in there, but you know how that goes.
Well, they didn't enforce it, but
It's
nearly
not,
back then like they do now.
it's probably not even there now. No.
Oh yeah, nowadays you get fired for taking that picture. Yeah.
Okay, so the antenna, I'm trying to figure out which would be the best view of it. I guess
sorry, Ken. I was just giving you crap.
That's okay. The 2200 meter. Go to antennas and then click on 2200 meter vertical. That shows a good shot of it. See, it's got a little cement pad down there, and then
okay.
And then I took a piece of that 12-inch diameter solar tube like you build piers with, and I poured another little pad
Yeah.
on top of that. And at
That's
the
a
bottom,
lot of wire.
that white thing at the bottom is the insulator. And it's got 32 ground radios going out from it.
Hmm.
And that loading coil on there for 2,200 meters, that's 500 feet of number 14 wire that came from Lowe's. I used a whole roll.
Oh, did you just use THHN wire?
Yeah, I put the
Oh, okay. Okay.
whole,
That's actually a really good idea because it's relatively okay outside.
yeah, and it's cheap.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's going to be okay. It's not really meant to be outside, but it'll be fun outside for 20 years.
Yeah, I won't be around much
Absolutely.
longer. Everything I do is temporary anyway, Don.
Well, yeah,
Everything.
well, yeah. Well, none of us live forever.
So you can see down there where that PVC comes out of the ground.
Uh-huh.
That's where that coax and control wires that run that remote tuner, all that stuff goes 200 feet to my ham shack. And all out there in that field behind there is radios underground.
So how do you operate on more than one frequency in that band?
Yeah, I cover the whole band.
Okay.
I got a
That's why
tuner.
I was wondering if the tuner was just needed, even just if for one frequency, depending on
Okay,
weather.
I have a remote box in here by the radio that I can switch the switch to the L in there. It's got a roller inductor in there and a vacuum variable.
Oh,
And
wow,
I can tune either one of
that's
those
serious.
to match the antenna remotely. And I can look at the sine waves to tell when my antenna is tuned or not. I use a
Well,
scope
yeah.
match. I use a scope match, which gives me the current and the voltage sine waves. And when they're on top of each other, your antenna is perfectly matched.
That's very cool.
So I can look at that. If you click on the 630 meter station button there on the front page, you can see the K3 and the amplifier and all that. But you can see the little monitor there that's got the scope match sine wave on it. There's actually two sine waves there. They're right on top of each other. One's voltage and one's current. And the tuning box is over on the right-hand side. So I can flip that switch to pick the L or the C. And then the next button picks the direction that it's gonna move the vacuum variable or the roller inductor. And there's a push button at the bottom. I can push that button and I can watch the sine wave on that scope match move. And whenever they get on top of each other, I'm perfectly matched. So I can remotely tune that. If you click on QSL cards, there's a couple of stations there that I worked, one in Australia and one in England, and that was on 630 meters. Also do astrophotography too. If you click on the miscellaneous button up there, there's one of my astrophotography shots. It's a nebula called Rosette. Also, I do wildlife photography. There's a couple of wildlife photography shots there. I didn't put much photographs in there because this is a ham radio site, not a photography site.
Yeah, it's your site. Put wherever the heck you want on it, man. Looks good. I like it.
And I wrote all that code for this site. It's HTML coded. It's old school website design. And I hadn't done that for 20 or 30 years till I decided to make this website.
I don't know that I remember much of that anymore.
Yeah, took me a while to refresh my memory.
Sometimes it's actually fun to kind of manually code that. At least it used to be.
Hmm.
Has anyone looked at the single band QIT TH9000?
Who said that?
I did, Larry.
Larry? I didn't quite get that. Say again.
And has anyone looked at the single band TYT frame TH9000?
I don't know what it is.
Single band, you can get UHF 220 or UHF. Nice thing is it has a cutout for a debug in the back, 9 pin. And inside there's a plug for ground, TX audio, COS, receive audio, push to talk, and the 5-volt supply right there on the plug in the radio.
Mhm.
So it's really easy to run it through the debug. Put a 9-pin D in the back of the radio.
That sounds pretty good. So what band does that cover? Is that a 2-band?
This one is they're all single band radios. You can get it in a VHF. Now it's a commercial band, so you have to have the software to open it up to ham frequency.
Gotcha.
But 60 watts out or 65. I think it's 2 microvolt receive. Pretty decent receiver on it.
It's pretty good power for a small box.
Yeah. I'm building one up for APRS. My old radio took a hit. At Alinco. And a DR150
I gotta jump
for
out.
my APRS.
Okay, Paul. See ya.
7 threes.
Hey, Paul, are you on our Discord or chat page?
On which one?
It's called Discord. It's our club chat page.
Oh, no.
Well, someone has to send you an invite, and I've never done that before, but maybe Phil can do that. And I'm just saying, you can ask questions on there, and every
Oh,
once
okay.
in a while, we kind of monitor, a few of us monitor it, but it's a really good deal. It's we all should be on it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with
Because you
that.
can pass information that way to each other, links, photos, or anything like that. And it's free, so we should be using it.
Ah,
see if I can get, Don, do you know how to send him the invite?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Phil? Hey, Phil? Can you send
Yeah.
Paul Phil, can you send Paul an invite to the Discord page?
Yeah. Stand by a second.
Okay.
Standing by.
I've never done that. I might be able to, but I wouldn't want to screw it up.
Now, I don't think I'm on there either, so I wouldn't mind an invite myself.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
And it shows over on the right.
oh my, Paul, stop that.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just about to do one myself, buddy.
Coffee's run out.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think my brain's run out. I'm gonna bail here in a couple of minutes. So you guys have a great night.
Well, you want me to have Phil send you the invite too, Don?
Would you please, sir?
Okay.
Would you please, Phil?
If you can't make it that long,
Oh, I can make it a few more minutes. I'm not gonna fall over.
you sure?
No, not as bad as when I was yeah, no, not as bad as when I was on drugs. No.
We don't want you to fall out of your chair.
Oh no. I can sleep. No, I can sleep in this chair actually. I have done so. I have fallen asleep in this chair before. Not online, but I have done it in the garage. This used to be my garage chair. It's actually a really nice Herman Miller chair. If for you, those of you that would know what Herman Miller is, that's good office stuff. But yeah,
I don't know what Phil's doing. I wish I knew how to do that. We could just get the job done, but
and I might already be on Discord. I don't know, but I don't think I am.
Are you going to send that link through here tonight or via email or how?
Oh, I'm sure he'll get it to us somehow.
I think it might be email.
Okay, because I got to jump out. My wife's walking around checking out where all the machinery was working today. So see if there's anything I need to check for tomorrow when they come by.
All right.
Okay. Well,
I gotta
you
jump.
need to go to attend to the boss.
Good talking to you, Paul.
Yep. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Catch you later, Paul. I'm gonna bail myself. Catch you guys.
Okay.
Catch you guys later. Have a
Before
great
you
Okay.
guys bail out,
Don.
Okay, I won't.
See you later, Don. Phil, can you send them guys an invite to Discord? I don't know how to do that.
I don't know what Discord is.
So evidently. you
Okay,
don't
well,
have it.
maybe Phil doesn't have it either.
Okay.
I don't have it either.
Discord is our club chat program. And I'm surprised that you don't have it.
I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, I tried to, I talked to Mark one day about getting us signed up on one, and he said they already had one. And so he sent me the link to it, and there is, I'm going to pull it up and look at it. There's a half a dozen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 people that's on right now from our club. And Peter, Mike, Mark, the other Mark, another Mike, myself, Jared, and Ed are on right now. But you can pass information instantly on there. And if you run across something, you can put a link up there for everybody to find to look at it. And so occasionally, we put stuff up there, and Peter's always putting some interesting stuff up there. So you need to get on it. It's called Discord, but I call it our ham chat program.
Was it on a Zoom host or what?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zoom thing, but it's
Its own program.
yeah, and it's free.
Download.
Oh, yeah, okay. So is it a video chat like
Yeah,
this?
yes. Well, it's a chat. There's no video. Well, I guess there is. We don't ever do the video part of it.
Okay.
So we just post messages and links and pictures, things like that.
So to say, why is everybody over there tonight instead of being over here tonight?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like it's a chat room thing, and that's what I call it, our club chat. But it's called Discord. And whenever he told me that, it threw me for a loop because I'd never heard of Discord before.
I never have either.
I think it's Microsoft Teams that I was using before Zoom came along, and I have a link from my ham room out to my Astro shed, and whenever I would in the wintertime when it was cold, I could get my telescope, start photographing some nebula, and I could come inside and do quite a bit of the controls over the internet. And that way I could be in here where it's warm while I was taking pictures.
Yeah. Been there, done that. That's the nature of astronomy. You freeze your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Team at work.
Yeah.
All of our work stuff is on Team, but it's kind of a pain to use. It's very involved.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that so few people are using this instant chat program because, otherwise the only time you can pass information is, like this meeting we have here, but
Yeah, I can pop it up on the screen, but if I'm gonna send you a file, I just have to email it.
yeah. But this chat thing is really a good deal. Let's see if I can look at okay, camera over so I can see. It's called, the URL is discord.com. It's https://discord.com. But probably if you just type in discord.com, it'll get there. And I was thinking there was a link on there you could click on to invite somebody.
It probably is.
But I'm looking at it and I don't see it.
You may have to be a page administrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Zoom here. You get a lot more privileges if you're the owner or the administrator of it.
Yeah. Mark is the one that sent me the invite. Mark.
Did you get that over email or over text mail?
I can't remember. It's been quite a while back. I think it might have been an email. It's, Mark Klein sent it to me.
Yeah. I'll hit him up for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get out of here too, guys. It's 8:15. Nice talking to everybody.
At that time. Yeah.
Good to see that Larry's working again, keeping himself busy over there. Okay, see you guys later.
Later, guys.
Anybody there? Hello.
Nobody on there.
No, the ones in the room are hidden. Where are you at?
And the 50-50 raffle is
Baseball games.
operated. $35. Get your tickets now in section 113. For the aces, the first baseman, Seth Beer.
There's some life in the room.
Mr. Larry,
Yes.
we're gonna wind it down in here, sir.
Okay.
Just wanted to let you know, sir. Have a great evening.
So hide now. Off camera.
Have a good one.
You too.